This is Kardec Radio for Teens.
And now it's time for Message from a Teen in the Spirit World with your hosts, Mark Smith and Carol Correa.
Hello, dear friends. We are very happy to be with you once again for another message from a teen in the spirit world. Today we meet Carlos again, and this time Carlos is having the opportunity to compare his previous understanding of physical death with his actual lived experience of that moment. And he writes to his brother Dirceu by posing a question that perhaps many of us ask ourselves, and which this passage will help to illuminate and elucidate for us. And the key question that Carlos poses and that we can meditate upon ourselves is, could, quote-unquote, dying really mean this? Which is, in fact, remaining more alive than ever before? Is that ever possible? These are some of the questions that Carlos is genuinely feeling in his heart, and that he invites us to feel as well as we explore, look, and most importantly, feel the answers with him. So we would like to now invite Mark to bring some care and comfort to Carlos and to our Kardec Radio Universal family by reading the next passage that Carlos has to share with us.
Care and comfort. What did she mean by that? Aunt Eunice was still beside me, alive and cheerful. There could be no more doubt about it. I was neither hallucinating nor dreaming. I was wide awake. Several disturbing questions arose in my mind, however. I knew that Aunt Eunice had died a long time ago, but me? Didn't everything seem normal? I touched my body. I looked at the walls and furniture. Could dying really mean this? All I had to do was think such thoughts for Aunt Eunice to smile kindly at me and say, "Yes, Carlos, you're here with us now, we who have already passed to the darkness of the grave." Frankly, I felt chills of fear, but Aunt Eunice wasn't troubled at all and remarked, "Silly boy, why are you so scared? You don't have to be." Such a calm attitude filled me with trust. However, all the wailing really upset me. Why was Mom crying like that when there wasn't any reason for it? A bad feeling took hold of me. All the pain that I had felt a while ago returned to my body. I began to cry convulsively. Aunt Eunice, however, understood all about it, and indicating that she knew how I felt inside, she patted my head and said, "Don't be alarmed, child. That really is your mom crying because she hasn't yet understood life. You are still connected to her by strong but extremely unhealthy ties of love. Compose yourself and think about something else." I wanted to take her loving advice, but couldn't. Mom's crying seemed to come from far away, and my desire to see her again was too strong for me to feel free on such short notice. Oh, but it was awful. Mom's crying became louder within me the more I yielded to the desire to remember everything. And as a result, all my aches and pains began reappearing one by one. The sore throat, the stuffy chest, the hard breathing. It felt as if my long and pain-filled agony had begun once again. Aunt Eunice urged me to be strong and think of God's goodness in order to overcome the heavy feelings of the moment. But it was of no use. After washing my face with some cold water from a nearby basin, she added lovingly, "Don't be afraid. We have devoted doctors here too, and I've already sent for one to help us out." Troubled and downhearted, I waited for help to arrive.
How beautiful, Mark, to know that help is always readily available. And how beautiful to know that we have mentors on the other side of life, treating us as apprentices in our transition between worlds. Even though we know, reincarnated many times and discarnated many times, every reincarnation and every discarnation, by the grace and love of God, is completely different. We are given a fresh new beginning in both ends of the spectrum. And the ends of the spectrum, like we learned directly from Carlos, are not ends. They're more like circles or cycles of life that are continuously connected one to the other. And it's beautiful to see that our hearts remain connected lovingly to all of those whom we love. So we need to fear no longer that we will be separated from the ones whom we love through physical death. Physical death, we learn now with actual evidence that it is nothing but a transition that is necessary for all of us, because all of us deserve to return to our true home. So every day we can do the mental emotional exercise to see ourselves, to look at ourselves in the mirror and see ourselves beyond the physical vest. Look at ourselves in the eyes, because as many poets have said again and again, the eyes are the windows to the spirit. Look at ourselves in the eyes and say, you are a divine spirit who are here to learn and to grow, to help and to serve everyone around you. This life is temporary as you know it, but you are not. So cherish, dear soul, every moment that you have here on this side of life, because these moments are loving but passing. So let us exercise within ourselves the understanding that everything we have, including our physical bodies, are passing. But let us embrace lovingly and gratefully the reality that our real selves, our spirit selves, are never passing. They are eternal manifestations of God's love on earth. So let us really, truly feel the truths that Carlos is sharing with us, because as Kardec wisely advises in the first page of the Spirit book, the truth is the truth in all epochs of humanity. And this is a truth that is not exclusive to the Spiritist science and philosophy. Ancient Egyptians, for example, already knew that the soul or the spirit lived much beyond the longevity of the physical body. Many wise civilizations of the past already took that to be their reality. And so this is not exclusive to the Spiritist philosophy. It is just a beautiful universal truth. And this universal truth is reflected right now in nature. Kardec asks the illuminated minds in the Spirit's book, how can we feel closer to God? And wisely the illuminated minds say, by observing nature, because you are part of nature yourselves. And if we observe nature right now, we see that it's winter, even though the weather has been warmer than usual, it's still winter, and the trees are still bare. But we know that the life within will spring again, hence the name spring, will come back to life. And this is what our transition to the spiritual realm is like. On the outside, we may look lifeless, but on the inside, our true essence, the spirit, is more alive than ever, and it shall and it will spring again and again in celebration of life through God's love. So let us see ourselves as divine reflections of God's love that are beautiful and everlasting in essence. And let us constantly appreciate the eternal facets of life, both in nature and within ourselves. Let us educate ourselves as immortal spirits by nourishing our souls as we are doing now, every day. And let us go to the gym of the soul by educating our minds and hearts to the reality that will remain true much beyond our current physical existence. This reality is that we are immortal beings who are here to serve and to love always. Let that be our affirmation for this week as we render beautiful graces to Christ Jesus and all of the illuminated minds, including Francisco Xavier and Neo Lucio, together with Carlos, who brought these beautiful messages from a teen in the spiritual world for us to learn from. Let us ask Mark to say a beautiful prayer of gratitude for those who are around us, illuminating and nourishing our souls, and for those who, from the spiritual realm, illuminate our lives always.
Thank you, dear mentors, and thank you, dear, beautiful, loving spirits, for all that you do in reminding us now that we're children of God and that we live here on earth just temporarily, destined to come back to our beautiful home in the spirit realm. And we thank dear Jesus, the governor of our planet, and God, the beautiful, loving energy that all around us, for these beautiful seasons of winter, spring, summer, and fall. For here at the last stages of winter, we have a reminder that all that is dying, all that seems dead, grows anew again. And it's time for us to reflect on our own lives and realize that we too will become once more resurrected, in the sense that we'll go back to where we belong. Just like the trees come back and renew again in the spring, so we too, as a beautiful, loving spirit, will go back to our home as well. Thank you so much, dear mentors, for reminding us of these universal truths. And so be it.
So be it, and let us celebrate these universal truths, but by not only understanding them, but feeling them and living them on a daily basis. May all of you, beautiful, immortal, divine spirits, receive our embrace of love and gratitude for being with us not only today, but always. Until we meet again, we wish you many, many beautiful blessings.
This has been Kardec Radio for Teens. Thank you all for listening.